So I'm excited to announce, and I did share this in the past, but we're having another free webinar. There are so many things I can answer, hopefully, for you and provide you the value and the service. There's a question here about a sump pump, if a sump pump is working or not, how to know. Toronto saw more water than it has seen in a very, very long time. Between us and our drain specialist, we had 215 emergency calls in like 3 days. It was actually insane. If you have a sump pump, it's generally because you need one, which means we're removing water from under your home. We're removing water from your foundation. Hey, I know this is a DIY type question, but as a professional, I do need to share this. I highly recommend having us come in once a year. There's no stopgap with sump pumps. If they're working, you're safe. Your basement's dry. If they fail, you better have a really good pair of boots or a snorkel, because you're going to be swimming in your basement and you're going to have a lot of damage. So I would say bring us in once a year. We do an inspection, maintenance, and cleaning, ensuring it's operational. But if you want to do it yourself, you're welcome to. Lift the cover, look down, get a flashlight, look down in that pit. There'll be something called a float switch. It's either a ball with a cord that floats up and down, or it's a column float attached to the actual pump. And as the water level rises in the pit, the float rises up with it. It engages and closes the electrical circuit of the pump, forcing the pump to engage to empty the pit. What we're doing is we're emptying water from under your home. It's highly, highly valuable to know it's working. If you have a sump pump and you've heard it pumping and you know like it's working, I would strongly recommend you install a battery backup system. Because funny enough, very often when there are torrential downpours or storms or wind and heavy rains, that's generally when power outages occur. So if you got a power outage and your pit is filling, your pump can't work because it's plugged into the wall. There's no power. So we've seen it. We've arrived on site and literally watched a mother and son bailing out buckets, handing buckets off, trying to keep their basement dry. It was like a nightmare. They still have trauma about it. They still talk to us about this. So a battery backup system is really neat. What it does is it's a secondary pump in that same pit. You set the float switch at a higher water level than the primary pump. That way, if the primary pump fails due to a power outage or fails due to mechanical failure or debris, anything that makes it fail, the water level will pass past the original set float switch. As it rises higher, it'll engage the secondary float switch, which engages the battery backup pump, which is being powered by a marine battery, which has a 12 hours of continuous cycling, which is more than what you need because the pump cycles for a few seconds and goes off. So you could be days without power and you're still fine. Keep your basement dry. So I would strongly recommend that as well. Check us out. Join our webinar. I'll be there to answer any questions you have and just give you as much as I can give you.